Hi, my name is Heather Shirkey, and I am a unit coordinator on 5 West. The purpose of this tutorial is to make pain audits super easy. It actually came out of a UC meeting back in August when we identified that pain was likely going to be one of the DMV findings. So we collaborated as a team to try to identify a way to improve those numbers prior to DMV coming. And so I'm going to walk you through how to do the audit tool, which we started doing in September. We started on September 1st of this year. It's something that we run twice a day, 7 days a week. We typically run it in the 7 o'clock hour. So 0700 and 1900, but it is obviously something that is modifiable and, something you can change based on your unit workflow. So what is covered in this tutorial? I'm going to show you how to set up your unit audit. Each person responsible for running audits will need to do this step. Um, you won't be able to run the reports without it. I'm going to show you how to set up the quick link to the pain audit form. I highly recommend this. It's not necessarily required. You can use the link that is sent to you, but then you'll have to search for it in your email, whereas with this, you'll have a link on your desktop that you can just click on and input the data. Lastly, I'll show you how to set up pain audits forms using Teams. This is only done by one person within the department, and then that link will be shared with each person who's responsible for running the audits. So I place that at the end of the video so that if it's not applicable to you, you don't have to keep watching. All right, so we're going to dive right into this. I have actually tried to record this a couple of times. We are going to be in Playground, and it's been acting up on me, so keep your fingers crossed for me that this works. All right, so once you've logged into Epic, this is how to set up your pain audit tool in Epic. You're going to click on My Dashboard, which is at the top left-hand corner of Epic, and then you are going to type in pain in the search bar at the top left-hand corner. Then hit enter. And what you should see come up and what you want to click on is inpatient pain assessment. Now, if you are on a unit where there is only one unit to log into, then you can actually star and use this report from here. This report will run based on the login unit department. If you're on a unit that shares beds on two different units, for example, 5 West A and B, 3 West A and B, something like that, or if you're going to be running it for multiple, this next step will be something that you'll want to pay attention to. All right, so I'm going to click play or run the report, and it's going to open up. Now, I actually came in earlier and made it so that this patient would have a past due pain assessment in Playground because otherwise no one had any. But if you are on a unit where you need to have two and you don't want to have to log or switch context in order to run the report twice, you're going to click on this 3 dots on the right-hand side next to inpatient pain assessment, and you're going to open report settings. Once this comes up, see it's running it by your user login department, and you can only log into one department at a time. So we're actually going to delete this, and then we're going to type in to find criteria, and we're going to type in department. And it's going to say admitted patients by department, and we're going to click on that, and it's going to allow us to type in what we want. So I'm going to say SRMH, 5 West, and I'm going to hit enter, and it's going to show me that I have two, both 5 West A and 5 West B. So I'm going to select 5 West A, and I'm going to do the exact same thing for 5 West B because I want data for both. Once I have that, you can run the report because I know that this works. I'm going to go ahead and click Save As, and I'm just going to call it my 5 West pain assessment. So now it's showing me admitted patients by these 2 departments, and it'll pull all of the data for that. So now that I have that, I'm going to go ahead and click Run. And it's going to show me all of the patients for 5 West pain assessment. I'm going to go back so that I can show you what this does. So when you're running this report, and it's as simple as once you come into My Reports, you'll actually want to star this report so that you can use it each time so that it shows up in your reports. And then once you run it, all you're going to have to do is come in and you're looking for any patients that have a red clock in their pain reassessment field. So that's what we're looking for. So when we click on this, it says that at 2300 on the 17th, a pain reassessment was due, which means that at 2200, a pain medication was administered. Now, what we do, like I said, we typically do it after shift change. And so night shift is essentially capturing any missed documentation for day shift, and day shift will be capturing any missed documentation for night shift. So if you are running, so if this is, it's 7:45 in the morning and I'm running this report and I see that it was missed at 2300, then I can look at my staffing, my end of shift sheet to see who had this room number during, at 2300, and then that would be the nurse who would be responsible for that medication. You want to be careful and make sure, and that's why it's good to do it at the end of a shift when there's not a lot of movement, because if you do run it in the middle of the shift, you could potentially be capturing, transfers or meds that were responsible for somewhere else. If you ever run into that, you could, obviously open up the patient's chart and it's being slow, and go to the MAR and see who administered the medication. Again, that's not something you have to do each time. It's typically pretty simple to see who gave the medication. Actually, I didn't even need to click into it. So just like that, and then I can say, okay, it was this nurse. So that is the first part. The second part is the quick link to the pain audit form. So I am going to bring up a link just so that I have it. Okay. So you're going to get a link that you'll use to create this form. So this is my link. I'm going to right click on the link and hit copy link. I'm going to come to my desktop screen and I'm going to right click and click new and then shortcut. I'm then going to right click and paste the link and hit next. I'm going to name the link Pain Audit. And you can name it whatever you like, whatever makes sense for you, and then hit finish. Now I have this link here, and when I'm ready to run my audit, all I have to do is click this link. It's going to open up the audit form, and it's funny, I was actually pre-filled this in so you guys could see it, but so it's super simple. literally, I'm going to say what room number. You can click, you can either type in the date or you can click the calendar. You can type what time the audit was due, and you can type who the responsible nurse was. Once we click submit, that data will then go to an Excel spreadsheet that is in Teams, that can then later be used by whoever's identified on the unit to have follow-up conversations. But it's a really good way to kind of have a lead measure on which nurses are going to need help with their um, sort of being coached with their documentation. So that's that. The last thing that I'm going to show you is how to go about doing the pain audit forms in Teams. So for pain audit forms in Teams, you're going to open up Teams. Bring this over here. And you're going to go to wherever we store it in our charge nurse folder. But wherever you decide that you want to store this will be the Teams that you use. So you click New, and you'll do Forms for Excel. And then you can type the name that you want to use. Create. And it's going to open up this form. So the first form is a text, and it's as simple as I don't have it in front of me. Room number. You can also change it if there are things that are important to you. Then you're more than welcome to modify it for what works for you. This is just what we identified we wanted to know. So room number. The next one will be date, and literally just call it date. The next one will be a text, and that one is time. And the next one will also be text, and that one will be the responsible. And that's it. So once you're done, you can click preview, see what it will look like to the person taking it. You can also change the theme. And then once you're ready, you click collect response. And then this is the link that you will send out so that everyone can put that on their desktop or keep it in their email, however they prefer to do it. You can also do a QR code, which honestly is super fast and easy, especially if there are people who want to use a tablet or a phone to do it. I personally just do it from the desktop, but there's different options there for you. That is everything I've got. I hope that this was super helpful. If you have issues or questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Again, my name is Heather Shirkey, and my email is hxshirk1. And thanks.